Be me, Ryan, 30, shift lead at regional furniture warehouse called Meadowline Distribution. Giant gray box off highway that always smells like cardboard and diesel. Job is riding pallet jacks, guiding forklift drivers, making sure sofas and fridges get on the right trucks before customers start screaming at call center. Crew is mix of big dudes who can deadlift a washing machine, tiny ladies who outwork everyone on scanners, and one old guy who only talks in forklift safety quotes. Old HR guy named Dennis just tracked sick days and handed out reflective vests, existed somewhere between the time clock and broken vending machine. Rules simple: don't crush your coworkers, don't steal, don't flip off the security cameras, finish the load sheet before you go home. One Wednesday morning, inbox dings with subject, all hands meeting, welcoming our new director of safety and culture. Already smells like trouble because we never needed culture to move couches, just functioning pallet wrap and enough straps. After lunch, we assemble in break room, fluorescent lights buzzing, coffee burnt, someone's microwaved fish haunting the air. GM stands up front with woman early 30s, sharp bob haircut, neon orange blazer, clipboard glued to her hand like birth defect. Lanyard covered in pins. Boys will not be boys. Believe women. Strong girls lift. And one little forklift with a pink heart. GM introduces her as Harper Lane, our new director of safety and culture. Says corporate hired her to take us into the future. Harper smiles like kindergarten teacher about to take crayons away, says she has background in gendered safety environments and inclusive logistics. Starts PowerPoint with stock photos of sweaty dudes carrying boxes while women stand in background holding clipboards looking upset. Talks about historic over-reliance on male brute strength. Says it has kept women at the margins of economic movement spaces. Throws phrase dangerous male hero complex around. Claims men charge in, cause accidents, then get praised for saving the day they created. Announces new initiative called Balanced Floor, Balanced Power. Says Meadowline will stop centering male bodies in physical safety. Couple guys smirk. Couple women glance at each other like, this is going to land on our backs somehow. Everyone else just wants to go back to pallets. Harper says first step is audit of gendered task distribution. Wants data on who drives forklifts, who stacks racks, who sweeps, who does paperwork. Week later, she posts results on giant poster near time clock, pie charts, and all. Apparently, 80% of forklift drivers are men. 80% of sweepers are men. Most women on order picking and scanning. To her, this means high-prestige equipment roles hoarded by men, dirty ground care stuck on them too, because we trust their bodies more. To us, it means guys like machines, and nobody trusts Chad with a scanner after that time he deleted half a route. Harper doesn't ask, she announces Phase 1. Rebalancing access to high-value equipment. Effective immediately, at least half forklift shifts must be assigned to women. Men only allowed to operate in mixed lanes until parity achieved. Designates certain aisles, empowerment lanes, pink tape on floor, only female drivers allowed to pick from those racks when forklifts moving. Men forbidden from walking into empowerment lanes during ops must wait at handoff zone for pallets to be brought out. Someone points out, we only have 3 licensed female forklift drivers for 2 shifts and building the size of a supermarket. Harper says we will train more, but until then, we should accept slower throughput as price of justice. Operations manager looks like someone just told him gravity is canceled on Wednesdays, but nods because corporate sitting on his bonus. Phase 2 arrives as email titled Reducing Male Proximity Hazards. No more spotting women climbing ladders from below. No standing directly behind them while they're on step stools. Calls it body surveillance. Says men should stand laterally and respectfully distant when women work at height. Diagram shows safety bubble-like force field. Also bans men from instinctively reaching out to steady women unless explicit verbal consent to touch given first. One of our tiniest pickers, Jess, raises hand and asks what she's supposed to do when someone starts falling. Harper says, "We want to avoid reflexive grabbing." Suggests we focus on preventative placement instead of last-second physical dominance. Old guy Hank mutters, "Floor still wins, sweetheart," loud enough that half room hears, gets first demerit under attitude towards culture change. Third phase, privacy and dignity in observation, hits the cameras. Harper orders monitors in control room set to low resolution unless there's an incident. Says zooming cameras on workers is industrial voyeurism. Forbids using cameras as shortcut supervision. Insists they only be checked during alarms, not for day-to-day load checks. We used cameras to confirm pallet positions and check if someone was still in back aisle before sending forklift barreling down. But okay. She has maintenance angle some cameras up so they mostly see ceiling and top shelves. For general safety overview, whatever that means. Next couple weeks become slow-motion plumbing clog. Empowerment lanes back up because 3 female drivers can't be in 2 places at once, so pallets for those aisles sit waiting. Men stand at tape line like kids in timeout, staring at loads they could move in 30 seconds, holding scanners like leashes. We start leaving carts in weird spots to avoid unauthorized entry. Traffic jams look like puzzle game on nightmare difficulty. I file first quiet complaint, not political, just numbers. Show how our average load time per truck has climbed 15 minutes since program started. Harper replies with long paragraph about early turbulence when dismantling ingrained male pathways, thanks me for engaging with growth. GM forwards her reply back to me with line, "Let's give it a chance, like we're testing new flavor of chips and not thoroughfare of several tons of wood and metal." Then she decides we need extra optics for upcoming big client visit from Horizon Home. Giant chain that accounts for serious chunk of our revenue. Horizon sending regional VP to tour our warehouse, make sure we're ready for their holiday surge contract. Harper practically vibrates, says it's chance to show feminist logistics in action. Words that should never be next to each other when forklifts involved. Announces Empowerment Night, special evening shift the night before VP visit, where women will lead floor operations front to back. Empowerment Night rules. Women run forklifts in pink lanes. Women coordinate outbound staging at dock. Women monitor control room. Men assigned to support tasks, cleaning break rooms, reorganizing label shelves, completing online training modules in conference room. We're barred from live equipment under phrase, "No male hero interventions tonight, only observation and faith." I ask basic question, what if we get behind on Horizon loads? They expect these trucks ready when they walk in. Harper smiles like that's adorable, says, their VP is a woman. She will understand we're centering safety and equity over raw speed. operations manager, stares at inventory board that looks like Tetris on level 90 and visibly calculates how many cases of antacid he needs. Day of empowerment night, last regular shift feels like loading a plane with half wings attached. Women drivers we already have are solid. They know racks, turning angles, weight limits. But Harper also brought in 2 temps from another site. Temps barely passed. Forklift class mostly drove in open yard. Tonight, they're threading between tall racks packed with glass tables and heavy armoires. Harper gives pep talk near dock, calls them Sisters of Steel, says she's proud we're finally decentering male muscle madness. Hands out purple vests, saying she moves worlds, takes group photo for corporate newsletter before any pallet actually leaves the floor. Men get herded into conference room with stack of mop buckets and cleaning assignments for after, plus safety quizzes on laptops. I'm shift lead, but tonight my title apparently downgraded to male observer, told to watch from side and take notes on how it feels to relinquish control. Empowerment shift kicks off, overhead music playing, forklifts beeping, scanners chirping. At first, everything just a little slower, not apocalyptic. I stand near doorway, watching, itching every time pallet lists slightly on forks, counting inches from safety margin in my head. Around 9 p.m., we're behind schedule by 2 trailers, Horizon loads still halfway done. But Harper keeps saying, we're measuring different success tonight. One of the temps, Lena, gets assigned to high bay aisle for heavy bookcases, tall racks stacked 4 levels up. Normally, Hank or my buddy Miguel handle that area. They know which beams bow if you look at them wrong, where floor dips slightly underweight. Harper insists Lena can handle it, says, if we never give women big loads, they'll never grow. Phrase that makes 3 dudes choke on water simultaneously. I quietly mention that Lena hasn't run that lane yet, suggest pairing her with experienced driver to guide from passenger seat. Harper says, having a man literally over her shoulder would undermine her authority. Tells me to trust her learning edge. Lena drives down empowerment lane, forks loaded with heavy double-stack pallet of flat-pack bookcases, shelf target on 3rd level. From my angle near conference door, I see small wobble when she lifts, mast tilting slightly back, but pallet wrap loose in one corner. Old habits scream in head. I step toward aisle, stop at pink tape, because rule says no men in lane while women operating. I shout, hold that lift, check your wrap. But she's focused on spotter, another new girl on ground, waving her in with tiny hand motions. Noise of other forklifts and rolling carts swallows half my warning. Lena edges forward, mixture of determination and terror on face. Forks slide under beam, pallet half in, half out, wrap straining. You can see one box lean away like it's trying to escape. Harper appears at end of aisle with Horizon VP and GM in tow for surprise empowerment tour. Perfect timing from hell. She gestures grandly at scene, whispering about women commanding heavy machinery, practically glowing. At that exact moment, pallet corner gives. Few boxes tilt, shifting whole stack's center of gravity like someone nudged Jenga tower. From where I stand, angle and weight scream, this is going to go sideways. I forget tape, training, everything, just sprint into lane. I wave arms, yell, set it down, 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 trying to get Lena to lower load back to floor before it shifts more. She panics, taps wrong pedal, forklift jerks, mast shudders, Pallet clips upright support beam as it's half out. Top boxes start sliding. Time slows, one box drops, explodes into cardboard and boards. Then chain reaction kicks in. Weight pulls rest of pallet, metal fork carriage twists, whole load dumps sideways off third level, slamming into rack below. That impact shakes shelf upright. Old bolt gives, so half the bay collapses forward like giant metal bookshelf having heart attack. Rain of boxes, boards, shrink wrap, and one metal beam crashes down, sounds like thunder inside steel drum. Spotter girl dives backward, trips, smacks elbow hard. Lina slams reverse, narrowly misses hitting structural column behind her. Everyone freezes, world now nothing but swirling dust, echoing clatter, car alarms going off in parking lot from vibration. Horizon VP stares at pile of ruined product the size of a small car, eyebrows somewhere near ceiling, while Harper's smile dies in slow motion. Alarms start beeping on operators' belt units, system flagging impact. Operations manager runs toward aisle, yelling everyone away from leaning racks. Luckily, nobody crushed. Spotter's arm bruised, but not broken. Lena shaking and crying, saying, I'm sorry, over and over. We cordon off bay, call security, reset emergency stop on forklifts, stand there, breathing dust and regret. Horizon VP quietly says they'd like to finish tour another time, thanks GM with corporate voice that translates to expect an email. Harper tries to blame old racks with hidden weaknesses, but maintenance guy points at inspection log showing last check cleared, no flagged issues. Next day, we have safety investigation with regional manager, corporate safety dude, Harper, GM, and me, because I wrote half the previous hazard reports. Safety guy pulls footage from new fuzzy cameras angled too high to see details, zooms as far as possible. Image looks like Minecraft. Asks why only one driver was trained on that bay during empowerment shift, why she didn't have experienced mentor on seat next to her. Harper says men overshadow and correct women too quickly, wanted Lena to find confidence in her own decision-making. Safety guy unsmiling asks why men forbidden from entering lane when hazard developing, points at pink tape and sign reading, Women Only Operation Zone. Reads my earlier email out loud about empowerment lanes causing delays and risk when skilled drivers blocked from access. Asks why cameras were angled away from racks. Notes original install design gave clear view of high bays for exactly this reason. Harper launches into speech about strike zones for the male gaze and removing surveillance from women's bodies. Safety guy just stares. Maintenance produces memo where she ordered binoculars removed from control room, calling them predatory optics, despite manual recommending them. Talk shifts to documentation. Safety guy has folder of my incident reports, ones I thought vanished into some culture folder. He points at paragraph where I literally wrote, new distance and lane rules will slow response or prevent intervention when pallet becomes unstable. Then points at timestamp on video, counts seconds between first visible wobble and collapse while reading my warning email line by line. Harper tries pivot, says, Ryan ran into lane and startled Lena, which might have contributed. Like gravity was fine until my masculinity showed up. I say I ran in because previous rule set said lead could enter any lane during hazard. Her pink tape rule was 4 weeks old and never cleared by corporate safety. Safety guy flips to policy sign-off sheet, asks Harper, who approved no men in empowerment lanes. Change. There's only her signature and GM's scribble. He mentions state guidelines require clear emergency access to all aisles, regardless of gender optics. Phrases like unimpeded egress, not optional. GM suddenly looks like man who signed something without reading and now sees his career climbing into cardboard baler. Few days later, Horizon's email drops, long paragraph thanking us for transparency, then line stating their pausing expansion of holiday volume, pending evaluation of safety practices, which translated to plain language means no fat seasonal contract, have fun with empty trucks and angry corporate. Numbers come out next week. Missed revenue is enough to give 3 managers ulcers and 2 executives new hobbies in unemployment. Corporate sends senior VP, small dude in expensive boots, an expression like he smells burning money. All hands called again, this time no pastries, no colorful slides, just spreadsheets showing productivity drop and cost of damaged inventory. VP says, "We are a warehouse. Our job is to move goods safely and fast, not run social experiments with rack stability." Harper sits front row, jaw tight, arms crossed, as he lists each policy that changed without safety department sign-off. He reads phrases from her memos. Decentering male presence, no male heroics, pink lanes for women's confidence, each sounding worse next to pictures of crumpled bookcases. Legal counsel on call adds that restricting men from certain tasks purely by gender while assigning dangerous loads to women only might be not just unsafe, but discriminatory in its own backwards way. VP thanks Harper for her passion, then says, phrase everyone in warehouse knows is corporate guillotine. Effective today, Harper will be leaving Meadowline. No applause, just tired silence and faint squeak of someone's steel toe shifting on floor. Later, I see her walking out past Doc, box of desk plants and motivational books in arms, pins still on lanyard, clinking sadly. She walks by collapsed bay, now taped off and half disassembled. Doesn't look at it, keeps eyes on exit as if warehouse catcalled her personally. New interim safety lead is old dude from another site, belly like beer keg, zero patience for jargon, carries dog-eared copy of state code everywhere. First day he stands in middle of floor, says, "No more pink lanes, no more tape. If you're trained, you drive. If you're not, you don't." Done. Reinstalls proper camera angles, brings binoculars back, writes in big letters on whiteboard, "If you see something wobble, you move. I don't care what color your vest is." Empowerment vests disappear into storage, probably next to broken promotional inflatables and one haunted pallet jack. Weeks go by. Horizon sends small test loads again, watching metrics. We hit them because trained people touch machines, not ideology. Lena stays on staff, but only after real training with Hank, riding shotgun, 0 speeches, just, if the pallet leans like this, you stop. She still shakes a little driving past that repaired bay, but she's getting better, because actual safety is boring repetition, not Instagram slogans. Some nights I walk down aisle where pink tape used to be, tiny faded line still visible on concrete like ghost brews. Don't feel like hero or martyr, just guy who watched tape and theory try to argue with gravity and saw who won. Few months later on phone scrolling, see LinkedIn post shared by some HR person, title, "I was pushed out for making warehouses safer for women." Thumbnail is Harper, same neon blazer, different plant backdrop. Paragraphs about male resistance and old boys choosing profit over women's bodies. No mention of collapsed rack, fuzzy cameras, or delayed intervention because men were told to stay behind pink sidewalk chalk. Close app, lean back on couch, imagine some other warehouse GM reading her post thinking, wow, she sounds brave. Think about yelling at Lena to lower pallet, about starfish of pink tape under my boot, about boxes raining like stupid wooden confetti. Decide if anyone ever asks why our warehouse stopped playing gender games with forklifts. I'll just say, we remembered gravity doesn't care about your politics.